어쩐지.
Cholesterol on average. Age also makes you more vulnerable to health issues. So people often assume as your cholesterol goes up, your risk of health problems goes up because cholesterol goes up with age, whether you're healthy or unhealthy. Doesn't mean you're going to ruin your health as you age, but all those preservatives stacked up in our diets, all those processed foods, all that high carb nonsense, soaked with seed oils, all that stuff is worse for your health as you age. It amplifies with age. So if you do a population study, you see people with higher cholesterol, older people tend to have higher levels of heart disease, but it doesn't mean that cholesterol is causing the problem. But here's another layer to this. In general, the more you research this topic and the deeper you understand the research on this topic, the more you find that inflammation is truly what causes damage to the arteries. Cholesterol comes and fixes the damage, but it's always inflammation that triggers the damage. For example, I've seen a lot of cigarette smokers that have extremely low cholesterol because they're on cholesterol-lowering statin drugs, and they still have heart attacks, sometimes multiple heart attacks, all with super low cholesterol. Well, the problem with our modern food is we have loads of this nonsense in our foods, and medical organizations deny this. If you eat relatively healthy and your cholesterol is below 300, you're generally fine here. Even if you have a cheat meal occasionally, you eat some nonsense, your body can recover from the damage without creating atherosclerosis, assuming you actually eat healthy, actually exercise, and you sleep. And since I mentioned sleep, even if you eat a perfect diet, extreme lack of sleep can put your body into a chronic state of inflammation. Eating lots of meat, tons of animal fat, but no seed oils. They were exercising, getting out in the sun, sleeping well, not overly stressed. It's people with optimized blood sugar, where their fasted blood sugar is below 85, and their triglycerides are also below 85. Get picky on those two blood tests. They actually matter because they indicate whether your metabolism is healthy or not.
sleep is so critical for brain function and memory. Nighttime is when the brain detoxes.
Yeah.
And so there's a what they call it, not lymphatic, but glyphatic glioma, which is a brain cell, but the in the brain is a lymphatic system that drains best when you're on your sides, sleeping on your side. And
Makes
so
sense.
laying on the back or on your
stomach,
it's not going to work as well as on your side. So, in the popular adjustable beds and people laying on their back may not be good for the brain.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Now, as it turns out, this was work done by Jerry Reven back in the 1980s when he first conglomerated all of this information into one overriding concept called metabolic syndrome. He called it Syndrome X, but we call it metabolic syndrome. What he realized was that the triglyceride, when it offloaded its lipids into different tissues, those triglycerides became the bad kind of LDL, the small, dense LDL. And what he realized was the HDL was protective against that. And so what he realized was that the triglyceride to HDL ratio was perhaps the single most important risk factor for determining heart disease. And that is true. The triglyceride to HDL ratio is what you really want to know. And if you have a triglyceride to HDL ratio of about 1.5 or less, you'll probably live forever. If you have a triglyceride to HDL ratio of 2.5 or greater, you got a problem.
The most important thing is not to obsess over your LDL. The most important thing is to obsess over your metabolic health. How do you get metabolically healthy? I believe the best way to get metabolically healthy is to improve the quality of your food, cut out the garbage, cut out the seed oils, cut out the high fructose corn syrup, cut out the processed food. That will lead to healthy weight loss long-term and improve metabolic health.
How long is that average period that you'd say that if you're intensively healing?
I would say a month. The endocrine system works on a month, both male and female, a month. So, as I said, it varies. It's dependent upon what you're trying to fix, what you're trying to heal.
Every person is so different. Every person has a different underlying metabolic condition. It can be 4 weeks. It can be 6 weeks, 6 months, 12 months. Mm-hmm. And that goes on to the next tip, which is understand how you feel, because I've heard you say that 80-20 is very important as a starting point, but you will teach your clients to titrate up or down, meaning move the fat protein macros up and down depending on how you're feeling. Can you elaborate more about that?
Well, I'm looking for inflammation to reduce. So how you're feeling, if your joints don't hurt anymore, if you wake up with more energy, if you're able to sleep better. All of these things are, people come to me with, I have a questionnaire and I ask them what's going on. What are the presenting issues? And these presenting issues have to be addressed. If there may be, people often forget that how well they feel and I didn't lose 20 pounds like I wanted to, but feel fantastic. I don't no longer have psychotic attacks. My GFR went up. My kidneys are functioning better. You know, you have to be able to feel how you have improved. It's very important. People do. They know. I mean, I sometimes have to say, you wrote this is gone. And they'll be like, oh yeah, I don't remember that I even had that.